All right. I am at not 50 Citizens Way, because that's where I went at first, 50 Carroll Creek Way.
Yes.
This is the other side of the creek, right near the Wine Kitchen, Plaza Mexico. I'd say prime location for an office.
Beautiful, yeah.
This is Brianne Paugh. She is with Community Title Network.
Yes.
Community Title Network. What is your title here? Your title?
Managing Branch Attorney.
Managing Branch Attorney. Smarty Pants is what I translate that to, but that's good. All right. For those who haven't maybe purchased a home in a long time, because that's really is that your key role, is helping with purchases of real estate?
Yes. So sales purchases. So we are transactional. The other aspect of our job is we actually have a law firm as well. So sometimes people will come to us for things like common driveway easements, or they've bought a big tract of land and they want to figure out, like, what can I do with this piece of property? Can I subdivide it? What are the restrictions? Sometimes they come to draft powers of attorney, contracts, all kinds of stuff. So the beauty of where we are is that we really are full service when it comes to real estate.
And that's not the same with all title companies. Is that correct? Or can all title companies, because they're housed with attorneys, do that?
So the interesting thing is not all title companies are housed with attorneys.
Okay.
You would think.
Yeah,
right?
you would think.
Because that was
your point.
Important. Sometimes more likely they're not.
Okay.
And so a lot of times they will outsource certain services to an attorney at a law firm.
Gotcha.
And then they will basically prepare, let's say, deeds, send them out for an attorney to sign them and send them back. So we're able to offer more services than the average buyer, especially because a lot of companies don't want to handle commercial because it's more difficult, more complicated.
Right. Yeah, but you guys can take care of that. So when someone is purchasing a home, a lot of times a real estate agent will have a partnership with a title company, right? But you could go out and say, I prefer to use XYZ.
Correct.
Community Title Network would be great, but yeah.
Yes, that would be right in Community Title Network. So people may be surprised. Maryland is very consumer protection oriented, and they wanted to reserve the right for purchasers to be able to choose the title company that they wanted to close with. So the seller can always prefer that they use a certain title company, but ultimately it's the buyer's decision who they want to close with.
Yeah. And I think, especially, again, as you're saying, if you're doing a large purchase, it may make sense, A, do some research, but B, you're going to want somebody that's kind of representing you, and you're being able to answer those questions efficiently and effectively right away when you're in the throes of kind of trying to make stuff happen. So
absolutely. So Dani, the interesting thing is that we'll get phone calls from people that are, let's say, like price shopping, what is your settlement fee kind of a thing. Okay. But because of all of the threats that the real estate industry is facing now, technology wise, with seller impersonation, wire fraud, I think a lot of times people don't think to ask, like, what is your privacy policy? Like, how do you safeguard my information? What are your procedures to verify that sellers and people are, who they say they are? Right. So we have a lot of procedures in place. I've worked for a number of companies, from law firms to private companies to government sector, and I've never seen a company invest as much as this company does in their security, even to the extent of hiring a third party that comes in very routinely and basically audits all of our technology policies and procedures. Because if you Google, you can Google seller fraud, wire scams, and it's something that to know how many of these happen on a daily basis is truly, frightening. Yeah, exactly. You have an emotional support dog here, which not really. It is an office pup. She's young at heart, and I love it. You know what, though? It's true. They immediately bring down your blood pressure and make any situation much calmer. They do. So she loves to meet. Her name is Charlotte. She's a bit more famous than me. People sort of know her before they know me, which is so funny. So she'll meet clients that come at the door, and we always ask, like, "Are you okay?" Because sometimes people are not okay with dogs. But she'll meet them at the front door. She'll walk them to the conference room, and she'll just kind of sit with them. And because, as you know, a lot of people come in. I mean, gosh, what could be? There are a few things more stressful then purchasing a home, selling a home, and all the things that you have to do to make that happen. And a lot of people that are coming in are selling and then buying in the same day or buying in the same week. So it's really something that if you can kind of put your focus on something like calming.
Yes. Plus she makes you smile.
She does
you can't not smile when you see Charlotte, for sure. How long have you been doing this job? Total, not just here.
So I've been in real estate. This is my 19th year.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I knew when I was in middle school, I was one of those weird kids that knew it was, am I going to be a lawyer or am I going to be a singer? Because I'd taken 10 years of vocal training.
You could be a singing lawyer.
I know, right?
That would be a hit.
I thought about doing maybe like a video blog and like singing some of it. So like guess the song kind of thing.
I think you should.
And so the reason why I got into real estate, it's a little bit of a sad story, but it's a real story. People can relate to this. So I remember you always have those couple of family members that are always taking care of a lot of aging relatives. Yeah. My parents, when I was young, ended up taking care of a lot of relatives that lived in Western Maryland.
Okay.
So me and my brother from a young age, we were going every weekend to Western Maryland for the weekend, taking care. My parents would actually split up and go to maybe like a parent's house or go to an aunt's house. And then I remember being with them because they were oftentimes nominated as the personal representative.
Right.
And then they were handling the sale of the property. And I remember seeing all that and being young and thinking, wouldn't it be great to kind of know everything that's associated with this and be able to help someone out with something that is so practical, but also be there for them during such a difficult time.
Well, and let me just tell you, like, a lawyer's job, similar to me, to an accountant's job, there are so many new things happening all the time.
Yes.
You want somebody reputable that you can count on, that you can trust from start to finish, especially if you're an investor in real estate or anything like that. It's just really great to have that right-hand person who's representing you and looking out for your best interest and keeping up to date with all that stuff.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
I teach continuing education for realtors, and so much is changing so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard about AI and how AI, I don't know if it's going to come into the accounting field, but I know there's talk of like AI in real estate. And I think that there's a misperception that title work is easy or title work can be automated.
Well, it's just because you're so good at it. Make it look easy. That's the problem. That's the problem
so
there.
It's so much more. It's so much more than this technicality. It's so much more than a piece of paper. It's the difference between chaos and clarity.
Yeah.
And you need somebody that not only knows what they're doing to recognize the issues, but is an attorney that has the power to do what needs to be done and do it quickly.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
We're getting contracts in that they want to close in. Can we close in 14 days?
Yeah.
Can we close in 20 days?
Yeah.
And we want to be able to make that happen, and we have the resources.
So if people want to reach out to you, where do they need to go? What's the easiest way?
Yep. So I would say you can email me.
Okay.
You can go on our website, Community Title Network, Google us. We have, I think, 23 offices and growing.
Wow.
We're in multiple states.
Yeah.
Got licensed in West Virginia about a year ago,
which
is great.
Yeah.
So we're just, we're all over.
Yeah,
so reach
that's
out there.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking your time for Good Morning Frederick. You've come back home to Frederick, where you were, where you grew up, and like we all did, you kind of make that full circle. You go experience the world, and then you come back to the greatest town, I think, in all the country. So,
absolutely.
So she's a part of our community. We love to support her because she supports us. It's Community Title Network. Brianne Paugh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you.